Yes, we are. Yes, it is.
Is it 7 o'clock?
It's 7 o'clock. You know what time it is?
Well, if it's 7 o'clock and it's Wednesday, you know what time it is.
Yep.
Is Wednesdays with Fernando and Anthony chasing gazillions ain't the same as making millions.
Getting better.
It's getting
Getting
better.
better. So is the economy. Thank God.
So is the economy. Yes, there's been a lot of things going on here. Okay, let's see. Let's There we go.
What is this? Melinda Bowling's joining us. The better half. Thank God for Melinda, by the way. She, of
Thank
course,
God.
you got the big screen, of course. God
No, I
forbid.
put
Oh,
you
I
in.
see now. I had to complain about it, but I got the big screen now.
You got the big screen this week. That's
So,
right. Now that
so
I've learned
Melinda,
how to move the screens around. Yeah. So how
I don't
it's been a trying week for everybody. What's been happening with you this week?
it's been I've been a little down this week, and Maryland got crushed by Penn State. Went up there to State College, took my beating like a man, vowed to come back in 2 years and take it again if I had to. It was just
Wow.
it was a great weekend though. We got
What
set up
game is this in the season? What game is this in the season? Like the third game of the season?
10th game of the
Yeah.
season.
And
Yeah,
you all got smacked up in the mouth 30-0.
30-0.
Whew.
We got great accommodations there. Friends of ours have a house there, so we went with my wife, her friend, and two of my buddies went. We had a good time. Great tailgate, great atmosphere.
Yeah.
Game was terrible. Weather was horrific. It was like 38 and rainy at game time. But we sat in there for a half, took my 27-0 loss, and went out to the parking lot and had a few more beers. I was done. At that point,
Wow.
the game
So
was over.
you that type of fan. You don't stick it out with the team throughout the whole game with them if they have to
No,
suffer.
nah.
You don't suffer the whole
You
game.
know, when they pay for me to show up, when they pay for my expenses, I'll stay the whole game. But as long as I'm paying for it, I control my body. I go where I want.
Okay, fine.
That's me, though.
There you go, man. Yeah. You all deserve to be in the is it Big Ten, Pac-10?
The Big Ten,
Big
Pac-10.
Ten. Big Ten.
You know,
That's cool.
the money's good, but the beatings are getting old.
I know, man.
Let's just say that.
Well, that's
Let's
what you do. You don't want to be competitive. You just want to take the money and get smacked in the mouth. Are you all
yeah.
even bowl
Let's talk
eligible?
about what. Yeah, we are. We are.
Okay, cool.
Let's talk about what happened at UVA this week. I know it's close to your heart. I think we should mention it. Why
Yeah.
don't you give us some thoughts on it, man? I mean, I know probably know some of these players. I would think, or you've heard of them
Well,
at least.
I've talked to some players who are close to these young men and family. My heart goes out. Our condolences to those families who are suffering. Uh, we all are grappling, trying to find answers. Um, we send our children, all of us. We have children. They're in college. They're away. We are hopeful that they're safe. We pray for their safety, and then tragedy like this strikes, and you don't you try to make sense of it. Um, you just I don't know. You just try to make sense of it within your family. We've had talks with our children. Absalom's away at the University of Memphis. We've talked with him. We've talked with Eliza, um, and I yeah, we just pray for everybody's recovery and yeah, and we try to go on into the next day, man. It's really been tough though. It's really been tough.
Yeah, senseless for sure.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. So we try to buck up and move on. So, and that's where we find ourselves today.
All right.
Yeah. So more information is going to come out. They're going to do more, and and more talking. That's my feeling about it. Always more talking is needed. Young people need to find a way to speak with their outside voices, what's going on in their hearts and minds, so that the rest of us have a chance of hearing what they are grappling with. And there provides us an opportunity to try to be helpful to them as they are going through something that we've been through or seen. We've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, and we can help them. But
The
they
younger
we have
generation doesn't speak as much, though, man. They're so technically savvy. They rather do everything electronically than actually have a conversation. So it's going to be a challenge to get them to open up verbally. So
right. And that's what's needed. That's my feeling about it. That's what's needed. We need to talk more and say what's difficult that you can't say in 29 characters with your thumbs to express what it is that you can't express. You can't say. You don't have the words for it. So that's the whole point. You need to be talking to someone about, I don't have the words for it. This is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm going through. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, man.
So Melinda Bowling's on here. What's going on?
Hi, my camera's off because it's been a day. It's been a day, Fernando. But
okay.
We have been talking about some stuff, and I thought, well, I'll just throw it out here for you, real estate gurus, to see what your take on it is. The Surfside condo collapse, and then the other collapses on coastal towns from these rapidly repeating climate change storms where sand dunes that gave protection have been washed away. And then you have these failures in these multifamily dwellings. And you think of your typical retiree who goes to Florida or just south, where the living is cheaper and they're on a fixed income. How do you advise future similar clients about these huge assessments that they're going to be due to take care of this long deferred maintenance on these condo and or multifamily dwellings?
So a couple of things is that Surfside, that's close to home to me. I grew up in Miami. I know that building. I know that part of the beach. My niece, who works as CSI detective in Miami Beach, worked that site. So she undid all the bodies, identified them all. I mean, she was there for 2 months working that site. It really affected her. She said it was the toughest job she's ever had. She deals with everything that happens on the beach. She's there. So that's aside, obviously, from what your question is. But the problem with Miami Beach, and I grew up down there. I would love to retire down there, but it might be too crowded for me. As I get older, being in crowds and dealing with traffic and all that nonsense, I don't want any parts of it. I really don't. I've done it my whole life. I'm done with it. Miami Beach was man-made. Miami Beach was kind of like a what do they call it, a sandbar, basically. It wasn't really. It's soft sand underneath all those buildings. So this is the beginnings of a lot of buildings going on. So Miami Beach, I would not recommend ever retiring to, because I think they're going to have problems in the future unless they go underneath and fix all those buildings, which are extremely expensive. They assess the homeowners for that, even though the owners of the buildings have made millions of dollars on their backs. they're still going to assess them. The hurricane situation, I just think that's part of living down there. You got to be willing to deal with that part of the situation. And, me and Anthony had Brett Ellis on the show who told us what's going on. And I've been communicating with Brett and getting emails from him every day pretty much on listings. So all the people who are leaving there, they're still trying to get top dollar for their house. Now, I'm not sure how that works when your house is destroyed and you're still trying to get market value for your home, how that's going to work out. I mean, I don't see how that math works, right? Before
Right.
the house was worth this, your house gets destroyed. Now you're still trying to get this, even though
And that doesn't make sense.
That's right. If they didn't get insurance, they're trying to cover their mortgage, maybe. I don't know what they're trying to do. But I had my brother and my mom were there today, as a matter of fact, on a FaceTime. They were visiting my brother in Bradenton, stopped in Fort Myers Beach, put it on FaceTime. My brother drove around for an hour and had his phone right up on the windshield, and I saw the devastation. It looked like a bomb had gone off.
Wow.
So it's not good there. Still, it's 2 months later. It's still not good. And so in terms of the assessment, so how does that affect the people in condos who got beat up? There will be future assessments to future owners.
Right.
And they will be paying the price for whatever the insurance doesn't pick up. That's the reality. And when you go to sell these units, and I've been looking for real estate down there probably for 5 years, because I eventually want to live in Florida. I'm not sure where yet, probably further north, like Melbourne, Cocoa Beach, that area, maybe like Stewart or Jupiter. But those assessments are going to be a problem for people, because when they have to list these properties for sale, the condo fees are $1,000 plus.
Exactly.
So they are a little bit safer because you're in a concrete building. So the building's not going to go down because it's concrete made to hurricane code, hopefully. But I would almost rather buy a house a little bit inland without the huge condo and assessment fees, because assessment fees in condos are a moving target. So me and my wife bought a condo down in Miami, 2005. Very depressed that time that time in Miami. Got it really reasonably cheap, almost cheap enough that we could just buy it for cash.
Nice.
But the condo fee was $933.
Wow.
And within 2 years, it went up to like 12, 14, 12, 17. And then the market had come back. So we sold it, made a nice profit on the unit. But I would have loved to have kept that place if it was more in line with what I could afford. But when your condo fee is more than what your mortgage is, that's a problem for people.
That's a big problem.
And that's what, like you said, the cost of things are going up, but also the cost of those assessments are going to go up because of these hurricanes, these natural disasters, these buildings collapsing. I think the prices of these units are going to come down to make them more attractive for people, is what I think will be the bottom line.
Do you think, because I still always think of a grandma and grandpa retiring to Florida or retiring south, right?
Right.
Do you think different housing options will become more attractive? Like, I know we've been in Florida and we've seen like manufactured home developments. Do you think that'll be more attractive than a condo, or what do you foresee coming up?
I don't. I don't, just because if you saw the aftermath of that hurricane, all the mobile homes, manufactured homes, they were gone.
Oh, wow.
There was nothing left except for a pile of sticks.
Jeez.
They were gone, because they can't withstand 150 mile an hour winds.
True. Very true.
That's how it's built for. So maybe the real estate inland will appreciate a little bit, and the real estate on the coast will come down. but people really like to look at the water. I mean, there's a therapy to looking at the ocean every morning when you wake up. I think there is.
That's right.
No, I agree. I love the water and the beach and the whole thing. I was just, it's the numbers just don't work for people on fixed incomes with the assessments for multifamily to make them safer, to keep them safe. And I was just wondering what you saw on the horizon for that. So thank you. I think that's interesting.
I don't think it's cheaper to live there anymore. It used to be, but it's not as much anymore. It's not quite as expensive as DC, but I would say maybe 10% less. It used to be like
Really?
30, it used to be 30% less, but it's not anymore. It's just not because everything's gone up, obviously. The no state tax obviously is the biggest incentive of moving down to Florida.
Indeed. That's a big push.
Yeah.
Hey, when you pivot, guys, when we pivot, and Melinda, Melinda Bowling, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate you chiming in, just drop it in, and dropping that question on us. We welcome that, and you are welcome to hang around as we continue on. And if you have any other questions that come to mind, please drop them in. But on this point of deferred maintenance, I wanted to talk about, Fernando, your thoughts on shifting from Miami here. You mentioned about DC. We have a lot of older inventory properties, condominiums that have homeowners associations, HOAs, and they have condo fees, and those condo fees and those HOAs do also put on special assessments to these owners here. And they spend a great deal of time. I know a number of condominium developments older here in the city where the condo fee, unfortunately, has been artificially suppressed. They've been doing everything in their means to keep the condo fees down. And it's been because they've been deferring addressing maintenance costs to the buildings, keeping up with those maintenance costs. And as a result, 5, 10, 20 years later now, grandmas and others who've been in these buildings are now facing exorbitant special assessments, because the truth is this is a roof for your development that's not 10 years old, not 20 years old. We're talking 30, 40 years past its normal life expectancy, and you've never replaced it. Right. And so what do we do there? What is a solution there when we're facing these assessments? But we got to do something, because now the roof has to be replaced. Now the boiler system can't be patched again.
You got to do a great sales job on your homeowners at that point, because you're at the point you have to do it, and you've been kicking the can down the road, kicking it, and now you're at the boiling point. Well, you can't kick it any further. So what I've seen done with other buildings is where they do a special assessment, but maybe they amortize it over 3 to 5 years, as opposed to just hammering them with one large payment right out of the bat. They thin it out, they spread out the payments on them, which makes it a little more, you can eat it a little more, easier to eat, let's just say. I always thought that's, I know there's some condos that I've looked at on Connecticut Avenue going toward the zoo. There's some old buildings there. The area, right? Van Nuys, Woodley Park.
That's right.
Beautiful old buildings. Units are kind of gross. They're kind of old. And their condo fees are expensive. They're in the $800,000, $900,000 range. But they typically include all the utilities. They typically include all the insurances, all the amenities that come with these buildings. These buildings, a lot of them are old, but they have like a pool. They have 24-hour security. They have some things that go with the building. Even though the building may be old, the amenities are new and nice. So there's the cost. But that special assessment, I just think that's part of ownership. If they're apartments, they have to pick it up. But if you're owned, it's part of maintenance of your house. I mean, I have a home here this last 12 months. This just to say this year, I've spent $75,000 on my house this year alone because I've been here 25 years and it was time, right? I waited, I waited, I waited. It was done. I had to do it this year. This was the year. Roof replaced, floors, kitchen. Now the bathroom's next. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff we had to do. So it's similar to that, right? I waited, I waited, I waited. I can't defer it. I just had to bite the bullet and get it done.
Sure.
These people are homeowners. It's not apartments are renting, right? They own the unit.
They do own the unit. And I think there is that natural desire to keep costs down, but I think it's short-sighted. And what these homeowner associations should really be doing is instituting annual increases to adjust with the cost of living, inflation, and the like, so that collectively we have reserves. Collectively, we don't get caught, having to replace a whole boiler system this year for hundreds of thousands of dollars, when perhaps we could have been doing something about it, preparing for it all along these past 15 years, right? With increases that could have been going earmarked towards those particular items.
Nominal increases.
That's right. Exactly.
$100 a year. That adds up. I mean,
it would add up, particularly if the increases were being allocated and earmarked towards reserves targeted for the replacement of the boiler system, the replacement of the roof. These, not your ordinary operating expenses that you face every month with lawn care and things of that nature, but these big ticket items, so that when the time comes, you're ready.
If you ever look at the breakdown of an HOA fee, say it's $900, so they break it down for you. Okay, $300 is going to insurance, $200 for your utilities, $100 for the amenities. You all right there? If you're gonna sneeze, let it go. $100 for security. But they usually
you saw that.
Yeah, I did.
Did you see that? I tried to.
And they usually put $100 away in reserve fund, don't they? Most of them have a reserve fund built into the fee, right?
Yeah, but
where'd that money go?
I'm not. It's been a while since we've owned and been in condos, but my sense is that the reserves are not earmarked for a particular item. And what happens is, this year, something that had been deferred, then the reserve gets absorbed, addressing that item or going towards that item.
Right.
And I don't know that it's enough, because again, the condo fees haven't been raised in the past 15 years. You've been living here and your condo fees haven't gone up. You are really you're playing Russian roulette. You should realize, in this today market, my condo fee is $175.
Yeah. What you're doing is you're deferring that cost for later on. And the security guard in 15 years, of course, he's gotten a raise. The cost of your pool maintenance has gone up. Everything's gone up. I mean, everything.
Except for the revenue used to pay these things. Yeah.
Those numbers.
So it's a problem. It is a problem. Hey,
if I was
yeah, okay. I was going to say that as we know, and I want to thank everybody who's out there, who's chiming in. This is Wednesdays with Fernando and Anthony, chasing gazillions, not the same as making millions. just two real estate professionals and our guests that we bring in every week, Wednesdays at, what was that? Okay. Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we just get together, talk about life, real estate, and and we just like being here. And we want to tell you, this is season 1. Is it episode 29?
29.
29. 29.
29.
And we episode 29. And we are going to be shutting down at the end of November. We're going to take December off, and a lot of reruns in December, right? Holiday season, a lot of reruns. And we are working with support because, as you all know, who've been out there with us, I'm the technical support on Restream. And so we've been asking you all for technical support, and we're getting it, and we're going to come back in the new year. Same two guys, and hopefully, more meaningful shows, interviews. We hope you all have enjoyed what we've been doing here so far. We like what we've been doing. Hey, look, people are chiming in. Let me share this with you. Thanks for the info and knowledge. James Oxley. Brother Oxley is a real estate professional. He's out in Virginia. James is an outstanding realtor. And if you're out in Virginia, he would certainly be someone worthwhile talking to about all your real estate needs. Thank you, James. Appreciate your shout out. But here is our number one fan, who's always been there with us from day one. That is the Virginia Bushcrafter. We love the Virginia Bushcrafter. Has been supporting our program season 1 from episode 1. He's been right there. And there have been times along this journey here, this first season, where I have to tell you, we weren't certain that it was like after that program, we were like, this is over. We're done. But the Bushcrafter, Virginia Bushcrafter, always has good words of advice. What are we saying now? Mr. Bowling, I will give you a call on your cell tomorrow morning concerning the November 30th show. I'm looking forward to the November 30th show. Fantastic, everybody. You already see it right here. The Virginia Bushcrafter is going to be our special guest on November the 30th. He's been our number one supporter and fan, and we are going to dedicate the November 30th program to the Virginia Bushcrafter. It's going to be all about the Virginia Bushcrafter. So thank you. I look forward to talking to you in the morning. Give me a call. Hold on. Let's see what else James is saying now. Thank you, sir. No, James is saying I am Oxley Realty Services LLC in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. Telephone number, email, website. That's how you all can reach James. There you go. Thank you, James.
Fernando, I wanted to wish you and your family a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Belinda. Very sweet. You too. Hope
all right.
Son and daughter come home safely and enjoy the family love of Anthony B. I know.
Indeed.
He misses those kids.
Until next time, gentlemen.
All right. Thank you, dear. All the best. Bye. That was Melinda Bowling, everybody. She had come on and to one of our shows, She's the director of the Department of Enforcement and Department of Permits, Enforcement and Inspections in Prince George's County, DPI. And that was another very informative and great show. We love having her on. She gave a lot of valuable information. Yes, I too want to wish all of you all, because let me see. Are we going to be here next week? What is next? That's the 23rd. When is Thanksgiving? The 24th?
Yes.
Okay. So that's the 23rd. That's the day before Thanksgiving.
It is.
That's going to be a tough one.
That has rerun written all over it. I got a busy home that day. I got a bunch of people coming into town, and they're needy, and they need to be fed. They're needy.
Okay, so we think then on the 23rd, we think we might not be going live.
Unless I can get Walt Williams on the show, no, we will not be going live. But I'll ask Walt again about the 23rd.
You don't want to do a live like a family show, Thanksgiving, coming live with the family?
We could do that. That's actually not a bad idea. I could set up the camera in the kitchen, dining room, living room area.
I'm not saying the whole time. I'm just saying some shout outs from the family.
Okay. You said live with the whole family.
I know it's live with the whole family, but I'm saying, I mean, hey, I'm just saying, maybe, I don't know. We ask the people, because they want to know more about us. People do write in, they do ask, they want to know more about us, family life, household. That whole Peru thing you dropped on us last week.
Yeah.
That was a bomb.
That hit right, didn't it?
It did. And I don't know people, because up until this point, everybody's thinking you are a Miamian.
Yeah.
When it turns out you're Peruvian.
Yeah, people think I'm Cuban because I grew up in Miami.
Right.
So you thought that too?
I didn't think you were Cuban. I just thought you grew up in Miami.
You're right about that. I did. But I wasn't born there.
Right. I thought you were born there. Right.
It's been good, man. It's been good. It's been good. The year has not been great, but it's been good. I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving and unwinding a little bit with the kids. I had my son's coming.
We should have asked Melinda, is Absalom coming home? I'm sure he is.
Do you not communicate with your child? What's wrong with you?
No, you want to hear something special?
Don't upset me.
Okay, so no.
Well, don't do it.
You crack me up. Okay, so look. So what made me think of it is you just said, do I not communicate with my child?
Yeah.
So he's away. He's 20. He's away at school. He cracks us up. But this is the 4th Friday. So 5 Fridays ago, he calls me up and he says, "Hey, Dad, I saw this program on TV and turns out it was like an infomercial." And he was like, "Do you know anything about buying a property, living in one unit and renting out the other 3? And I said, yeah, what's going on? And he was like, well, I was looking at this program and I wanted to learn more about being a real estate investor. And I was looking at this program and all, but I knew you was in real estate. So I thought I'd call and ask you." So he did. And we got to talking. And the result of that has led to my son now is one of my coaching clients. I've been meeting with him the past
Wow.
just past Fridays on a coaching call, 1 hour, sharing with him and helping him on the journey towards becoming a real estate investor. And so it's and he has been diligent about it, right? I mean, I've been giving him books, the books that we're following, we're utilizing let me get it out for you. I got it right here somewhere, don't I? Yeah. So we're using the Millionaire Real Estate Investor Guide by Gary Keller as our roadmap to learning how to be a real estate investor. And so I tasked him to get the book. We reading a book. So it's like a book club, right? I've encouraged him to start an investment real estate group with his roommates and classmates. And so a couple of them chimed in. And so on Fridays, I'm coaching my son. This is my son who's 20, who I was telling since he was 3. As soon as you get to be 18, you're gonna get your real estate license, get into the business, right? And he and my daughter both were like, yeah, nope, that's not gonna happen. So they've watched me in the business 36 years, their whole life. And they were like, nope. But now he is seeing it there in school. He's feeling and I'm beaming because
it's going to stick now, though, because it was his decision to go into it, not you pushing it on him. You know that.
I know, but that's what I love that when he thought about it, it just registered with him. Well, my dad's in this game. He knows something about it, right? And now I'm coaching, and he's like in all of my other coaching clients who I meet with regularly, weekly.
Do you charge these people money for this coaching?
Yeah.
You charge him?
No.
Because you'd be paying yourself.
No, but just the fact that I'm talking and that he is reading and he's got questions, and we are, I mean, dude, his goal after the third week, after last week, we were talking about where are you now? Where do you want to go? And he was like, okay, I'm 20. In the next 15 years, by the time I'm 35, I want to own 10 to 15 income generating properties. There you go. That's it. Goal. Right. There you go. That's and we are learning and moving, and so it's so exciting. Hey, before we go and wrap up here, we got other people chiming in here.
Real quick, man. Has he played at all at Memphis? I know he's on the team, but is he getting a chance to even see the field? Has he seen the field yet?
Well, no.
Okay. All right.
So as you know, and now everybody knows that my son was a highly competitive swimmer and came into football late. He was recruited to go to some D2 programs, but he chose not to take the scholarship money to go play D2 ball. Yeah, why would he take the scholarship money? Right? when dad,
I know you're not cheap. I know you're not cheap, but come on, son.
I'm not cheap, but if somebody else is gonna pay you, they pay me to go play at UVA. Right. Okay. If they're gonna pay you to play, you should go. But he was like, nah, I want to play D1 ball. You play D1 ball, I want to play D1 ball. I was like, yeah, but no one at the D1 level is recruiting you. They don't know you. He's like, that's okay. So
you're a massive human compared to him, though. You're a lot bigger cat than him. Come on.
Okay, fine. So he goes to Memphis. He gets in all these schools. He picks Memphis. He goes there. And the first year is the pandemic year. So he's in the dorm. And in fact, Memphis they were like, we are open. They took my money and they were like, yeah, we open. And it was only like the week before school was open that they even said we going virtual the week before. So he was down there. That first year he went out, he tried out for the team as a walk-on. He didn't make it. In fact, when he was leaving the tryouts, we asked the coach, hey, can you give us some feedback? What we could do better. And the coach was like, yeah, I saw your son. He's in shape, but he's not in Memphis shape. And that lit another fire. Yeah, that lit another fire up under my son. So anyway, he came back out last year.
Alabama? Are they Alabama now, Memphis? Come on now. I never heard anyone say roll Memphis.
That's what I'm saying. Right.
I heard roll Tide. I never heard roll Memphis.
When he said you in good shape, but you're not in Memphis shape. That's what I was thinking. I was like, what the what? But okay, man. I got it. I see what you're saying. Anyway, Absalom got all fired up. He trained harder. He came back and he successfully walked on to the University of Memphis football team this past season. In the spring, linebacker, played in the spring game, did well, and we were all excited. Now, he also in the spring or last year pledged. I don't think we're supposed to say pledge. Joined the greatest fraternity on earth, Kappa Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. My fraternity. Yo. Kappa. So he and I went down and pinned him. It was just wonderful. It was a wonderful experience. So he pledged. Well, it turns out my 19-year-old son did not balance the demands of pledging football. Oh, yeah, in school. Very well.
That's a wicked triangle.
It was.
There. That is a lot going on.
It was a lot. It was a lot, and he didn't balance it very well. And so the team suggested that, not this fall, brother. You need to focus on being a student. Student athlete is great, but let's be a student. And that's what he's doing. And in fact, just yesterday, he calls. Oh, here's another parenting point for you all who are parents out there. Here's another great parenting moment for you. Okay, this is Virginia Bear. It'd be nice for you guys just to come on for a minute or two and show your family turkeys, etc. See, look. Come on, we got to do that now.
Did he just call my family a turkey? Did I read that right?
I don't think you're reading that right.
Show your family turkey. Bushcrafter, I don't make my turkey till Thursday morning with my wife's mom all up in my business, yelling at me the whole time how to make it, even though I've made it for the last 5 years. So I don't even show you the bird. I'll show you the family, but not the turkey.
All right. So look, for parents out there, get this. So my son is in a communications major, English communications. He's a junior. He's doing well this semester. He's having a great time as a student and doing well. And so he seeks to go into pharmacy. He wants to be a pharmacist, ultimately a patent attorney, but right now pharmacy. Fine. So we recommend
great job. Great
pharmacy. Yes. Yes. So hold on. Watch this story. Watch this.
Look, this is what you do all day.
Okay.
That's it. It's so easy.
That's right. Yes, slide.
Yes.
3 tabs. Okay. So we say to him, hey, man, there's an industry event. You should go and be a part of it, find out about it, and go to it. And he was like, well, why? He was like, look, these trade associations in pharmacy, that's going to give you the roadmap to the future. right? You'll learn from industry people now because you about 5 years before you can become a pharmacist. You got to finish up this year, next year, and then 4 years of pharmacy school. So you're down the road in the future. So, but now is the time to learn. So he goes to this thing. They give him an article or something to read. And while he's there, that someone in the industry says, yes, one of the best degrees to have going into pharmacy is a communications degree, because in addition to all the biology and the chemistry and things you need to know, a lot of students are struggling to pass the pharmacy exam because they don't have great written oral communication skills. And when he heard that, he just was like, wow, how did my parents know to encourage me to do this? I'm in the place to be. I'm at the front door. He was so excited. And Melinda and I looking at one another, we're laughing. And then I share with Absalom today, my son Absalom.
He's growing up, by the way. That's a sign of maturity and growing up.
It is. Oh, there's something from James. Congratulations on Fernando and Anthony both. Oh, that was for me capping. Thank you, James. That's another acknowledgement. Capping. That's a Keller Williams event for our top 1%, 1%ers here. Thank you, James. So I share with Absalom. I say, Absalom, you don't remember? He's like, remember what? When you were a junior in high school, because you enjoyed reading and writing and you're okay in public speaking, we were encouraging you to go into communications. And we had you meet with that pharmacist at the Rite Aid. And he shared with us then, 5 years ago, an article about the industry and pharmacy. And the key was this whole thing about oral and written communication and people struggling. This thing in pharmacy is not a new thing, struggling to pass the exams. And so that's why we were encouraging you. So that's why we're encouraging you today. Get involved in your trade association today, because you'll learn today the future of your industry. That's how we knew 5 years ago, which brought you here. And it was like, for him, it was like, wow, that's how it's done. We're like, yeah, that's how it's done. Get in today, man. Plant those seeds today for 5 years from now. The future is today. Plant the seeds. And so that's our parenting moment here on Chasing Gazillions. It's not the same as making millions.
Season 1, episode 29.
Season 1, episode 29. So we've had a great time. We're going to continue. I love that. That's what we're going to do for the Bushcrafter. That he said, do it. Just come on for a few minutes, a minute or two, and show your family's turkey celebration, etc. Not show your family, you turkey.
I heard turkey.
So we're going to do that. I love that idea. And the Bushcraft.
Yeah, I'll be on my cell phone then. I'll do it with my cell phone. Then I can walk around the house and stuff.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And people can meet your family. And then they'll know what you're doing on Wednesdays at 7 with me.
It's fun. All right, then.
All right, man. Yep.
Thanks, Belinda. Tell Belinda I said thank you. It's very nice of her to come on.
All right. All the best. Thank you all again. We'll see you all next week. Happy Thanksgiving to all you all and your family. All the best.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.